Hey all, so in the last video I spoke to you about this basically Mirage style design, and it did some really nice high alpha, but it was kind of like floppy in the high alpha, and it would tend to do a lot of wing rocking and could drop off very quickly in one direction or the other. Turns out that later versions of the Mirage had like a canard that was displaced slightly higher than the main wing, and also basically right up at near the tip of the wing, and that helps with low speed control when you're at basically at the stall and doing really high alpha. This really helps with controlling the airplane with a greater ease than if you didn't have it, and also happens to be able to give you the ability to do an even higher nose up attitude during high alpha flying. At the first time I did high alpha, the wing rocking kind of scared me, and I was kind of reluctant to really push it to the limit, but I just got a little altitude, pushed it to the limit, and noticed that it was doing a lot of wildly swinging around kind of motions, and this helps a lot for that, and also happens to help looping. It really loops even tighter now, because as I said in one of the bubbles in my other video, that moving the CG back just a drop, just about 1/8 of an inch, massively helped looping, and this helps it even more. And one of the other things is the typical modification that you see on later Mirages also. For example, the Kfir has this modification where it has a leading edge cuff, a dog tooth, which is even common on some of the straight wing airplanes, but on these Delta airplanes it becomes really useful to have this at high alpha operations when you're flying at a really high angle of attack. These two modifications appear on almost all of the later Mirages, and they make a huge improvement in low speed handling of the airplane, low speed handling and control. So just a little bit of detail regarding this forward canard here. It's a fixed canard, no ability to rotate it in any direction, no elevator on it, and I just have a 2mm rod of carbon fiber to reinforce it across the top, and sort of like a little tower that I built here to support it, to displace it above the wing. It is proportionally scaled to the same location where the canard on a Kfir is. A Kfir is an Israeli airplane which has the canard on the fuselage of the airplane, but this airplane really has no fuselage, so I just had to build this little tower here. As a result of having put this extra weight up front, it now became possible to move the battery back a little bit such that it is not protruding at all past the nose, which is quite an advantage as well. So even though the overall weight of this guy has now increased by about an ounce or slightly more than an ounce, it was well worth the extra weight in this case. The controllability at extremely high alpha is way better. I thought that was a very important update for you guys doing this kind of thing, these deltas. It looks kind of ugly, but it's certainly worth it. Okay, hope some of you will find that useful. Thanks.